same old appetizers? Are you tired of store-bought frozen hors d'oeuvres? Well, fear not! Students Go Gourmet is here to help. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Ellen.
And we're the authors of Students Go Gourmet, also known as SGG. We're here to make a few savory roulettes for you today.
We're going to make the pesto roulette now, which is just absolutely delicious and light and refreshing. I've got puff pastry here, which is thawed, and I've got some flour, and I'm going to roll it out. And we're going to have a rectangle.
It's beautiful. And it's really easy to just clean your countertop and dust it with some flour, and it makes working with puff pastry a cinch.
See how easy this is? This is so easy.
And you can sprinkle a bit more on if it starts to get sticky.
This is a very, very popular hors d'oeuvre, I can tell you.
It's minimum fuss.
We're just going to go one more time, and then I think it'll be enough. You don't want it too thick, because then the bottom will be very doughy and it won't cook well.
Ready to pull one out.
I think that looks great. We're putting our pesto on now. And you can just take whatever you have in your kitchen. Be creative.
You can use our sun-dried tomato. You can use our sun-dried tomato pesto recipe, a classic pesto recipe. You can use pesto with pistachio and arugula. And look for all those pesto recipes in our cookbook.
Nice thin layer, because now don't forget, these are roulettes. You're going to roll it up. So all this is going to be doubled. Okay, that looks fantastic. Go almost to the edge, but not quite. And then we're going to take some beautiful crumbled goat cheese and sprinkle it over the top. And again, you don't need too much because you're going to be rolling. And then I'm going to finish off with some pine nuts, which will give it a very nice crunch. I think that looks good. What do you think, Soph?
I think it's perfect.
Okay. Take a handful of pine nuts, sprinkle them over the top. Now the key with these roulettes is once you roll them, they need to go into the refrigerator for a couple of hours to set. Otherwise, if you try to slice them, it will be quite a mess. And now you just roll. Like this. See how easy that is?
They're going to be puffy and flaky and golden and delicious once they're done. So Auntie,
and it'll look like a little wheel.
How long do we put that in the oven for after it's chilled?
You're going to put it into the oven for 12 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees.
Sounds pretty easy to me. Let's do the fig and gorgonzola next.
Sounds great.
So we've already rolled and stretched this baby out for you, and I've put about 4 heaping teaspoons of fig jam. But you can put as much as you like. Just remember you want a nice, even, thin layer. And it's almost like getting a pizza ready for the oven. So now we're just going to sprinkle some beautiful gorgonzola cheese. If you want a little bit of a crunchy, whoops, that's the way my kitchen is, chaos 24/7. Okay, so if you want a little bit of a crunchy something to it, you can add walnuts. They go beautifully with fig and gorgonzola. And any kind of crunch you like, basically. So this is ready. And like Auntie said, you're going to put it in the fridge and chill it for a while before you put it on.
This is a great one to make the day before.
Yeah. And it's just like our fig and gorgonzola bites from the cookbook, and it's ready to go. So these babies are chilled. Look at how nice and stiff they are. It's so much easier to cut this way. We're going to show you how. I once made the mistake of not chilling them before I put them in the oven, and Auntie,
you had quite a mess on your hands.
Well, she knew that would happen, and I told her, and she just laughed because she knew automatically it was just going to be a giant puddle of glob. It was still delicious, but we want to avoid that. Nice presentation is important.
That's why this is good. If you have time, do it the night before you're having your party. That way you don't even have to think about it that day.
So we're going to show you how to cut it now. So you're going to have a pretty thin little slice, but there we go. Enough that it'll be substantial. And then we're going to cover these in an egg wash. And Auntie, do you want to tell them what an egg wash is?
Yes, an egg wash is 1 or 2 eggs, lightly scrambled.
Well, not quite scrambled, but mixed up in a scrambly manner.
And a little bit of cream, or half and half, or water.
So So you're just going to cut them all like this. We actually tell you how to make an egg wash in our cookbook, Students Go Gourmet, with the Lyon dinner, where we make a beef Wellington with a béarnaise sauce. It's really easy, and it's a great way to make puff pastry crispy and delicious. So we're almost done with this little log.
These just look fabulous
And
absolutely perfect.
Auntie's going to show you the perfect technique for the egg wash.
Okay, egg wash is just a light brushing of your egg wash on top of your puff pastry. Most times when you're cooking with puff pastry, you're going to want to use an egg wash. It just gives it a nice brown color and helps to puff up and just be a beautiful crust. And once we're done with this, we're going to put it in a 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes, depends on your oven. Just check on it at about 12 minutes. And you'll know when they're done, they're going to be a little bit flattened out. They're not going to be this small. They'll open up and flatten out, and they'll be nice and brown on the edges.
Definitely not a puddle glob.
No, not likely to be.
And here is the finished product.
Our roulettes. Enjoy, serve when they're warm, and you'll love them. Happy cooking. When it's party time and your wallet's thin, we get a call. Soph and Ellen!
This has been a Students Go Gourmet video.
In the